Drugs. I need more. Drugs.
Haha, don't worry, Junkie the Bard. I've got your back. See, kids, what happens when you do drugs? You end up like him. I'm Jeff, and I'm here to remind you to say, oh, hell yeah, to free booster packs. Now watch the intro while he's getting a fix. No, seriously, you really don't want to see this. It's not even funny. It's actually really sad.
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Oh shit.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said,
Yes.
What? Magic the Gathering, also known as Cardboard Crack, is a trading card game, or TCG, created by Richard Garfield and published by Wizard of the Coast in 1993. It is still the top played card game in North America today and also kept up to date at least 4 times a year.
The point of the game is pretty simple. Each player, a minimum of 2, has their own 60-card deck and must bring their opponent's life to 0 to win the game.
Or empty his library.
Or give them 10 poison counters.
Or control 8 of the same artifact by using mechanized production.
Or by making them rage quit because you play blue.
Or have 40 life at the beginning of your turn using Solidar Sovereign. Okay, it's not that easy, give me a break. I don't want to go too much in detail on how the game works because it would become a 4 hours video and nobody wants this. I'd rather discuss why I love it and why I keep playing after all those years. What brought me to MTG at first is pretty much the same as all the other kids who did. Collecting stuff. I remember when I was in elementary school and my mom telling me that if I had a good score at my French test, I could get anything I wanted from the toy store up to 20 bucks. So, as some have guessed, I failed. Nah, I'm kidding. I passed with 7 out of 10 and I bought myself my first ever booster pack. Speaking of, give me a second.
So my first experience with MTG actually wasn't the card game, but the really bad video game for the original Xbox called Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. It was really bad. This game was really confused. It was trying to bring to life the epic back and forth between mages that the card game represents, but they also kept some of the card game's limitations and converted stuff weird. It was just a really confused mess. I don't know why they even tried with that. Anyway, years later, my brother and I and a couple of our friends were getting really hyper-competitive with each other, and we'd go from game to game to game. We'd go through several video games. We were doing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while. And eventually, I looked at that old crappy Xbox game. I'm like, you know what? This is actually based on a card game, so why don't we give that a shot? There's some cool concepts in the video game, at least. The monsters look cool, so maybe the card game's pretty sweet. So I got myself a pack from the Mirrodin Besieged set. It was the black and blue deck that was not so great, but I did love the mechanics of the game. I loved the land system. I loved how all the different colors worked. I loved all the different playstyles you could use. I just got hooked.
Magic cards come in 6 different colors. Red, green, blue, black, white, and also now colorless. Here's some lovely aspect of those colors that we love.
Green is the color of nature.
And money.
Creatures are huge bitches, and you have a lot of tricks up your sleeve to make them even bigger.
Red is the color of passion, but also destruction. Creatures with high power but low toughness and other spells to deal direct damage is their key to victory. If you don't win early playing red, the end game will be a hard one.
White is the color of purity and justice. To me, the best aspects of white cards are the ability to generate a ton of small dudes, to be able to control your opponent's side of the board by tapping them down or exiling their cards, and of course, the plentiful amount of life gain.
Blue spells, also known as No, you won't cast that. Use instant speed cards to counter anything other players want to cast and control the board. They also like to destroy your whole library, but their creatures are mostly defensive, so being aggressive is not for this color most of the time.
Death is the best word to describe black-colored cards. Nothing brings me more satisfaction than having my opponent discard their entire hand, suck the life out of both them and all of their creatures, and then resurrect their creatures to finish them off for me. The mana cost can run a little high, but if you're able to pay that price, black cards can devastate your opponent.
Finally, there's the colorless cards. These are mostly artifacts to either produce more mana, equipment to buff your creatures, or vehicles like the Super Choo Choo trains. But the best thing about colorless are Eldrazi. Huge monsters that force your opponents to sacrifice his own stuff every time you attack. Love you, Mama Emrakul.
If you're interested in playing the game but don't want to quote-unquote waste all of your money on building a deck, you can get Magic Duels on Steam. It's completely free and the best way to learn how to play the game with quick and informative in-game tutorials.
If you already know how to play the game, Magic the Gathering Chandalar for PC is a great video game. Since it's an abandonware game, once again, it's free. And those who are willing to lighten up their wallet, you can get some pre-made decks at your local game store. I personally recommend getting dual decks, this way you can force a friend to play with you, or you'll have two to toy with when you get some boosters in the future.
We all do. I have my vice, leave me alone.
Okay, so I haven't made clear what boosters are yet except saying they're like jugs. They are, but it's more than that. Booster packs are 15 cards packaged from a specific expansion and there's a lot of them. For playstyle, one of my favorite is to burst all my red spells in players' faces to kill them ASAP, or bait a huge creature in and one-hit its controller with a Boros Fury Shield or a Deflecting Palm.
Personally, I enjoy forcing my opponent to discard most, if not all of their hand, and then having cards like Hellfire Mongrel on the field to punish them for not having cards in their hand. It's so deliciously evil and I love it!
But there is a lot more ways to play the game. Mono Blue Mile, white and green tokens, and so many more. There will be a couple links in the description for those who are curious about the universe of Magic the Gathering, and with this I fare thee well, and may the luck of the draw be in your favor.
It seems we have another case of magic overdose here.
Yep.
It's a damn shame.
He probably gave up on life because not enough people supported him on patreon.com/DavidandKaren.
Sad. They missed cool rewards like digital arts from Karen and pictures of David eating sandwiches. What does he do again?
Well, Tom from Mad Morpheus Gaming donated $5 this month.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, don't forget the amazing merch on Society6.com/RyukaNoir.
Yep.
Luckily, all the links are in the description below.
Including Twitter pages and other cool links?
Indeed, partner.
Hey, isn't it kind of weird that a Canadian died and the two officers watching the crime scene are American and Australian?
What do you mean? Nah, don't worry about it. Say, is the pillow thing hereditary, or...?
Oh hell yeah, to free booster packs. Now watch the intro while he's getting a fix. No, seriously, you really don't want to see this. It's not even funny. It's actually really sad. Really, really sad. He's gonna be an engineer. His addiction is like tearing this family apart, and I just don't know what to do anymore. God, I love cocaine. I remember from no Robux. Rollish de man.
Motherfucker, use the right side. Oh shit! Y'en avait un deux. Non, oui, je fais mes affaires, mon amour. Je fais mes affaires, mon bébé. Je t'aime. Je pense que ça s'est vu, ça. Je t'aime.